Today, I want to spend a few minutes walking you through how experiential learning is built into graduate education here at Lehigh. Please note this shouldn't be viewed as a comprehensive presentation, meaning that experiential learning happens a lot of different places, both structured within curriculum and outside of the curriculum. I'm just looking to highlight a couple areas in a short video that might pique your interest as a prospective MBA or specialty master's student. Across our MBA and Specialty Master's programs, applied learning is not considered an add-on. It's absolutely core to what we do and to how we help students develop professional skills, industry exposure, and career readiness alongside of academic rigor. Let's just do a quick review about Lehigh University. Lehigh is consistently ranked as a top 50 national university, and our alumni network, more than 88,000 strong, is one of our greatest assets. You'll find Lehigh graduates in major cities across the United States and globally, and that network plays a meaningful role in internships, projects, as well as career outcomes. Our College of Business is AACSB accredited, which places us among a small percentage of business schools worldwide who hold that accreditation. Lehigh is also classified as an R1 research university, a designation held by fewer than 200 institutions in the United States. For graduate students, that means strong faculty research, access to applied projects, and a learning environment that blends theory with real-world experience. Location absolutely matters. Lehigh sits within close proximity to both Philadelphia and New York City, as well as other major East Coast markets. The Lehigh Valley itself, where Bethlehem, PA is located, Lehigh University's campus, is one of the fastest growing regions in Pennsylvania, particularly for young professionals, giving students access to employers while maintaining a strong campus experience. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about experiential learning now. I like this quote when I was building this slide deck. I think it really resonated with me, and I hope it resonates with you that leading business schools are increasingly shifting away from purely lecture-based formats. At Lehigh, experiential learning means students are challenged to solve real-world problems. I'll let you read kind of the rest of that, but our goal is to kind of help you understand experiential learning at Lehigh and what that means. And that could be through things such as internships, consulting projects, analytics work, as well as innovation experiences. We're trying to prepare students for what employers actually expect through a combination of our curriculum as well as things that are happening outside of the classroom. So I'll give you a couple examples here across a number of our different programs. You can see the first one that we have listed there is our Masters in Management program, which is a 1 year full-time program, really designed mostly for non-business students. So think of it as kind of a one added year after you finish your bachelor's degree, or students that have up to 1 year professional experience can kind of pause, come back, and do this program. But here's a quick example. You can see it's a picture of actual Lehigh students that did a consulting engagement with Pratt& and Whitney. You can research Pratt& and Whitney a little bit. It's a really interesting company that has some connections to Lehigh, where a number of teams of Masters in Management students traveled to Pratt& and Whitney to their customer training center in Hartford, Connecticut. The students met with their company project sponsors and they finalized particular scope of their respective company immersion project. So think of that as kind of a high touch experience across a semester where students were meeting both on Zoom as well as in person on this client engagement. And at the end of the semester, the students were making recommendations back to that client on the particular project. Here's another example that we like to talk about. Silicon Valley Innovation Internship, offered by Lehigh West. Lehigh West is our staff members that are based in California that work for Lehigh University in building engagement and connections with Silicon Valley and beyond companies in California. The Silicon Valley Innovation Internship is not unique to a particular College of Business program. Rather, it's an add-on or it can be used in certain scenarios as an elective credit towards certain degrees. You can see it as a credit-bearing class where it's an academic internship where Lehigh West partners typically with the College of Business. Students work on remote early stage startups and innovations. I had a student, I actually supervised a master's in business analytics student this fall semester who was doing a Silicon Valley innovation internship with a really interesting startup in the electric automotive space. I have to be somewhat general when I talk about it. But I actually got to see the meaningful work that he was actually doing, contributing to this startup that not only allowed him to build strong connections with that startup, but also was able to tell and build his professional stories from doing an incredible amount of work that I would say normally would be more than internship level work. I mean, he was actually having deliverables that he was going to be able to go and generally talk about in future interviews. So it's a great opportunity if you're interested in startups or if you're just looking to gain some experience with an actual company. This is a great way to do it kind of while you're enrolled in a particular program as well too. But it is remote, and we're not going to have you go out to Silicon Valley, obviously. But in talking with a number of the graduate students that have done this, it is really a meaningful experience and a way to build your professional experience, especially if you're an early career professional. Another example is our Master's in Business Analytics capstone class. This is embedded into the curriculum where students work on projects, particularly how business analytics and analytics skills can be applied in an actual organization to create value for that organization. So it allows you to kind of take the experiences that you're learning in the classroom and apply them with an actual company. That could include visits to the company as well too, depending on where the company is located. But again, helping students build kind of those professional stories and professional experiences while they're here. The Master's in Applied Economics has a similar option. It's completely optional, but there's an optional thesis project, which is very applied. It's a research-driven applied analysis where students can work closely with faculty members on um, uh, deep analytical strategies around a particular analysis or thing that they're interested in within applied economics. Again, they work very close with faculty on that particular economic question, and they use specific techniques, again, outside of the classroom to build that thesis. Again, this is great if somebody's possibly looking at PhD study, if they're looking potentially at policy roles, or looking more for that research career focus. Some other things that the university offers, Iacocca internships. These are not unique to any particular program and also not unique to the College of Business. Think of these as kind of gaining internship experience with a global lens. Typically, these would be offered in the summer, and this would actually be an internship outside of the United States. So a credit-bearing internship coordinated through the Iacocca Institute, named after one of our Lehigh's most famous alums, Lee Iacocca, that really connects students with global entrepreneurial and innovation-focused organizations. This could be in social impact, consulting, business, technology, but there's definitely an international or cross-cultural dimension to it. Again, these I would say are probably designed a little bit more for early career students, although MBA students could potentially do it. I would say these types of roles typically are not going to be ending up in like full-time employment offers, but it provides a really interesting context to do an internship and apply kind of your business learning to through a global mindset or with a global lens. So again, something again, just trying to give you different options and a little bit of an exposure to the different things that you could kind of customize your MBA or your master's degree while you're here at Lehigh. Then there's some, I think, smaller kind of self-paced things that can happen here. Bloomberg certification is a great option for anybody interested in finance. In our business innovation building, we have a number of Bloomberg terminals where students can learn and get self-certified on the Bloomberg stations, which are definitely important. We do offer PMP certification for those that are interested in project management. That would be kind of taking our PMGT 409 elective course, Intro to Project Management. And we specifically align the curriculum of that class with the PMP certification. So for students, many of our MBA students like to do that if they have some project management backgrounds. They can potentially line everything up to also get PMP certified while they're here at Lehigh as well. In addition to that, we you do have kind of unlimited access to LinkedIn Learning. There's a number of great certificates that are on there. Those are a great way to kind of get up to speed on things that are maybe outside of your curriculum, but you do have kind of a shared interest in. We have an option, a tool called Lehigh Connects that actually connects Lehigh students with Lehigh alumni that have raised their hand to help in a number of different ways. One of those ways is they can raise their hand and say, I have a project if you're interested in doing it. There's a lot of different ways like that where students and alumni can engage and connect on particular projects. And then Lehigh also has a presence on edX as well too. So there's a number of free classes if you're a prospective student. Maybe you want to go on there and try something out just to get a little feel for Lehigh and get up to speed on a particular area. I believe we have a few offerings up there right now, mainly around data analytics. So again, something just to kind of you can even get started on before you arrive. Another way too is we see more and more students that are interested in entrepreneurship or at least exploring entrepreneurship while they're here at Lehigh. And I should note too that when I say here at Lehigh, while we're talking a lot about, I think, on-campus experiences, many of this might be available in our Flex MBA program, which is designed as an online MBA for working professionals. I have a number of Flex MBA students that are interested in entrepreneurship and they're engaging with the university in a number of different ways. But just a couple ideas that came to mind that I think would be worth exploring as a prospective student. Take a look at the Baker Center at Lehigh. That's really the hub of innovation and entrepreneurship at the university. That organization within Lehigh supports students looking at startups, innovation, and venture creation across a number of different industries. They offer access to coaching, pitch competitions, even potentially funding opportunities and spaces to actually build your business in. Open to graduate students from business, engineering, as well as other areas. And I will mention they partner with a business incubator within the College of Business as well too, called Lehigh Ventures. So again, a lot of different hands-on experiences for building businesses, or at least thinking about, is this a path of entrepreneurship I may be interested in at some point in my career? A lot of different team and mentoring opportunities throughout your time here. So that's a great example of learning outside of the classroom. We talk a lot from a career development standpoint of building multiple paths with your next step after your MBA or your master's degree. So there's a lot of different resources to kind of apply that from an entrepreneurial mindset. And again, there it is, building that entrepreneurial mindset, why that's important. It also encourages you to experiment a little bit, to see if this is a path or if you had a business idea, call it like a napkin idea, to kind of take a look at and see if with Lehigh's support, if that's something that might be viable or not viable. And again, those are just a couple ideas. This is just to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of different experiential learning happenings at the university. You can definitely find out more by doing a little bit of research on your own about that. But those are some common things that our MBA and master's students tend to talk to us about. And to kind of wrap this up, just some related things to admissions. While every program's a little bit different, kind of the common themes, if you were going to apply to a Lehigh MBA or business master's program, would be an online application, pay the application fee. We ask you you'll be prompted in the application portal for a 1 to 2 page essay. We ask you to upload your most recent resume. GMAT and GRE is typically optional for all of our programs. If people have questions about should they take a GMAT or not take a GMAT or a GRE, you're always welcome to email us at business@lehigh.edu and we can get you connected with a recruiter who can hopefully answer those questions for you. But we see fewer and fewer students submitting GMATs and GREs these days. Transcripts, typically uploading your unofficial transcripts, as long as they're in English, would typically be enough to meet that requirement of transcripts in the application. And then if you were admitted to Lehigh and ultimately decided to enroll here, we'd give you some time to get us official sealed transcripts sent directly to your university to Lehigh. And then letter of recommendations. Typically, programs may require one or two letters of recommendation. If you're an MBA applicant, that typically would be from a current or former supervisor, and it's typically two for MBA students. If it's for specialty master's programs, typically one letter of recommendation, and that would normally be from maybe an internship supervisor, maybe from a faculty member. But it's a little bit different because you're likely a little bit earlier on in your career. The way that the letters of recommendation work is you would actually ask the person, they would agree to do it, and then you supply their name and email address in the application. And when you save that page, an automated email will go out to the recommender, and then you can kind of track within your application when it's been received or not received. You can also send reminders through there as well too. So as far as next steps go, if this was interesting to you and you feel like you might be interested in submitting an application, we're always here to kind of help you and work through the process. I would typically encourage you to schedule a meeting with your admissions recruiter. You can find that on our website. You can also just email business@lehigh.edu and tell us what program you're interested in. We do host some online information sessions throughout the year. You're welcome to attend those. And many times during the year, we have current students available right on our website that you can engage directly with. So we would definitely encourage you to connect with a current student. We try to make that easier during the fall and spring semester on our website. Again, follow us on social media. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram are the most common. And then when you're ready, we're happy to support you through the application process. Again, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to contact business@lehigh.edu. Again, hopefully this was helpful just to give you a sense of some of the experiential learning happening here at Lehigh. And again, we look forward to hopefully seeing your application in the near future. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day.